It is a rather lovely day. I'm going to pause this here and I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see what I... Look at that, lovely green walk on a path down through the Welsh countryside. What's not to like? So where am I? Well, the answer is I am in Brecon and Merthyr Railway territory. This is where Darran and Deri station would have been, north of Bargoed. And you can see, if I just hold this around, I've had a look around here. Normally maybe at a platform edge or a signal post or something like that. There is nothing to suggest there was a station here. And when you look at the photographs of what was here, you can see, woof, yeah, this was a pretty substantial station. So why am I here and what am I looking for? Well, there was another YouTuber who said railway companies didn't always work together. And that is extremely true of the tale I am going to tell. Because yes, if I'd gone to Darran and Deri station and I'd stood on the platform in one direction, I would have caught a train to Merthyr, a Brecon and Merthyr train. And in the other direction, I would have caught a train to Newport. I would have gone under Hengoed Massey Cummer Viaduct, where we've been before. I would have gone through Macon, where we've been before, and I would have ended up in Newport. And yet, Darran and Deri station was a Rhymney Valley Company station. How on earth did that happen? Well, I'm going to go for a walk, show you a couple of bits, hopefully find a relic at the top of where I'm going, and tell you a typical tale of Welsh railways. There is one bit of wall here. I don't know whether that looks new. That doesn't look as though it's original, to be perfectly honest with you. Maybe doing it some injustice. It might be up there. There was something station-wise. But what is interesting is we're up in the air a bit here. And as we wander down this path across the road, you can see we're going down a ramp. There would have been a bridge here to take you across the road. This is a lovely little village, by the way, absolutely gorgeous. One of the things I love about the Welsh Valleys, just show you this, you see a lot of this, what I call corrugated churches, tin churches. There's a lot of them. Mainly they're kind of like non-conformist Baptist type chapels and that sort of thing, which popped up cheaply. One of these lovely, really easy to get through if you've got a wheelchair type of things, and across the road. Squeeze through there, okay. So the Brecon and Merthyr had opened their line between, well, Brecon and Merthyr, been very successful. And they started looking a bit further afield. They wanted to build a line down the Rhymney Valley, down here through Darran and Deri to link up at Bargoed, and then head down south. They had bought an old tramway called the Old Rhymney, which was notorious for being, well, a wreck. And I'll do a story on that at some other time. But even at 12 miles an hour, there were frequent derailments on that tramway. They converted it into a railway, and they wanted obviously to link the whole thing through. But there was a problem, Bargoed. Now Bargoed is very much like Taff's Well in the fact it's a gap through some hills through which there's not a lot of space to go through. In fact, the Rhymney Railway, who were looking at the same, had their surveyor's pegs in exactly the same place as the Brecon and Merthyr Railway did. Okay, bridge. We like a bridge. This green bit is new, but look at the parapet. This is definitely... Here we go, look at this. I sound like another YouTuber. Look at this, what's the name? No, look, this is, yeah, this is original railway, and it tells me I am exactly on the right path. That's nice. So back to the story. Railway companies were not cooperating. It's very simple. And there was a lot of toing and froing, a lot of parliamentary stuff going on. A lot of toys were thrown out of a lot of prams. And at the end of it all, they ended up with a compromise. And that compromise was Brecon and Merthyr would build their line down from Merthyr, down from Dowlas, as far as Deri Junction. And then the Rumney would take it from there to Bargoed. And then the Brecon and Merthyr would go on further. So hence, the railway was given the go-ahead. They started building, and in 1864 they had the tracks down. And then it all went wrong again. So who would want to stop a railway opening? Well, the answer is the Taff Vale Railway. They have been promised in a Parliamentary Act by the Brecon and Merthyr that they would basically have a connection to their line from the Brecon and Merthyr up at Dowlas, and that hadn't happened. So they basically got some injunctions, went to Parliament, started screaming, and the result was, despite the fact the tracks were down in 1864, Brecon and Merthyr couldn't operate any trains. It wasn't until 1868 where they came to a compromise, which was effectively, we will link up at Merthyr, that they actually said, yeah, that's fine. And the result was trains started operating from Brecon all the way down to Newport. At this point, the line would have split into two. One heading up to Deri Colliery, the other one continuing up towards Brecon and Merthyr. And the next station on the line was a small halt called Ogreave Halt. We'll go and see what's there before looking at a rail relic, which I know is definitely still intact. So we're standing on the remains of Ogreave Halt. Apologies if I say that wrong. One or two images here, and there was a colliery over the way, and they had a colliery halt as well. Nothing left at all up here, but there are some images which show what it would have looked like. But what I want to take you to see is what's behind me. There was a time when the railways were first built when wood was used quite extensively to create bridges, both for pedestrians, for road, and in some cases for rail. There's not a lot of them left. In fact, this is possibly the only one in South Wales which is made entirely out of wood. This is actually the main Brecon and Merthyr line here that headed up towards Brecon. And over the way there is a colliery branch, and this spanned both. So I'm going to have a look at both and then get up on top of it. Coming down through here, you can see the parapet, and there we go. A wood bridge. Not many of those left around. This is not the original wood, obviously. It's about early 2000s they restored it, went over to the Caribbean, got a load of sustainable hardwood, and built it. Gosh, it's windy up here today. I'm trying out a new mic, so I'm hoping that it's going to have absorbed an element of it. Here we go. Wood bridge, wood structure, wood everything. And then up over the main parapet and onto the original bridge. This was the one that was built with the line. The second bit was built when they built the extension and the sidings. Is it the only one in Wales? Well, it says walk the only one in Wales. This bridge is the only one of its kind remaining in Wales. So look at the steam trains. Very nice, but you can see the image there from what it used to look like before they restored it. A couple of stations that are no more, with no trace. A wonderful rail relic, the Brecon and Merthyr Railway, and standing in the sun on a sunny afternoon in Wales. Sounds like a good day out to me. I'll be back out doing some more stuff soon, so please like, subscribe, tell your friends, add to my subscriber count, and until next time.